Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beast All Generation episode number 130. 130 battles into this tournament, and this is the another battle in round 3. Then we have 5 more, and then we move on to round 4 with the top 20 beasts out of over 170. That doesn't add up right, I don't think. If we got 130 beasts and we got 20 left at the end of this round after 5 more episodes, that was 135 plus 20. Out of 155 beasts, maybe 156. No, I had an odd number of books. So, yeah. Okay, there'll be 154 episodes in this season. So, we don't have that many beasts left. That's what I'm trying to say. But we got 2 more fighting out for one of those last spots in round 4. And this is the 14th spot that will be revealed to you on who makes it to round 4. And I already know 14 beasts that's made it through, but one's a special beast which got to skip this round, which I won't reveal until the last battle of this round. So with that, let's introduce the beasts which are fighting for a spot in round 4. Representing Series 17, The Broken Star. Had to double check that one. Book number 3, we have Okko the Sand Monster. Versus his opponent. The last special to fight in this round. Will this special join the 8 other specials that's made it through to the next round? Or will this special join Kyrax into the graveyard of dead beasts, leaving only 8 specials left? Question is, what I'm trying to ask is, will there be 8 specials in round 4 or 9? I don't know. But with that, it's Kyrax the Metal Warrior. Arguably another big threat in this tournament. So this is actually quite a good matchup. But the honest answer is, I have no idea what I'm going to do for this battle. No idea where the battle is going to take place. So, hold on, bear with me. Just going to pause the video quickly. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just had to cough my lungs out. I have no idea where this battle is going to take place. I'm thinking of the Gwildorian Borderlands. So, with that, in the Gwildorian Borderlands, maybe... Yeah, okay. Let's go with the Desert Dunes. And I'm saying the Desert Dunes because whilst it may seem a bit kind of cliche to have the battle happen in Okko's home territory, I would argue that Kyrax is still having a good chance here. But let's get into the stats to see what we're actually dealing with. The desert people of Gwildor's Borderlands make offerings to this good beast, formed from writhing, choking sand. He guards one of the fragments of the precious broken star, which he will yield only upon being defeated by a heroic warrior. Age 430, power 246, magic level 163, fight factor 86, size 301. Powers and abilities: Sand Breath, Reformation and Deformation, Body Control, Sand Camouflage, Elasticity, I don't know how to pronounce that word, Enhanced Strength and Enhanced Durability. Weaknesses: Hardened by Water, making him easier to hit. So yeah, that's Okko. Kyrax the Metal Warrior. This nearly invincible beast of Hencrow, created by the wicked Igor to do his destructive bidding, is brought to life by a drop of Tom's blood and quickly becomes a menace Igor can't control. So powerful is this warrior that Tom and Alina needed to call for Furno for backup. Wow. Age 0. Yeah. Power 209, magic level 161, fright factor 89, size 144. Powers and abilities. Metal absorption. Kyrax can absorb any metal that makes direct contact with his body, rendering weapons like swords and spears useless. Body control. Kyrax can morph his body into different constructs, like his arm into a blade or sprouting wings from his back. Which Okko can also do. Maybe not the wings part, but I gave him the ability to change his sand into weapons as well. Flight, when he has his wings. Metal regeneration. Kyrax can use the metal in this body to regenerate from most attacks, like being slashed by Tagus' blade and being burnt by Phono's fire breath. Lightning magic. Kyrax has access to lightning magic, lets him manipulate lightning and create portals between realms. Enhanced strength and enhanced durability. Weaknesses: fire, a beast's weapon, and heart destruction. So, nearly invincible, but it is possible to kill. As myself and Lucas have made kind of canon at this point, Kyrax is made of liquid metal. Just by looking at him, he's like the T-800 from Terminator. Still haven't seen that movie. If I actually got the right Terminator, the liquid metal one, then, good news for me. I still haven't watched it, and I probably won't plan to, because Terminator never really interested me. But anyway, let's get into the fight in the Gwyldorian borderlands of the Desert Dunes. As Okko is just settling down into the Desert Dunes, thinking, how am I going to defeat this beast? He's distracted. He gets his moment of thought interrupted by cackling lightning suddenly striking the ground out of nowhere, and a portal emerges. Out comes Kyrax, greeting the Desert Dunes by roaring into the open area. Okko knows that it's now time to fight. He calls up a sand. He used himself as a sandstorm to create a sandy vortex, where he comes up into his full human size and towers above Kyrax. Kyrax, completely unfazed by this, shuts the portal by just clenching his fist and charges up towards Okko. Morphing his hand into a sword, he slashes right at Okko's leg. The sand underneath most of Okko just collapses, and Okko loses balance and falls down on top of Kyrax. Okko rebuilds himself into a sandstorm, which sweeps up Kyrax. As Kyrax gets swept around in the sandstorm, he sprouts wings to try and take control and fight against the wind created by this. Okko, seeing this, forms a fist in the sandstorm that punches Kyrax so hard, knocking him out of the sandstorm. Okko forms himself, his face to appear on the outside of the sandstorm, where he makes his way towards Kyrax and merges into his full human-shaped form, and lifts up both his fists and brings it down on Kyrax. Kyrax sees this, lifts up his arms, and creates rows of spines appearing alongside his arms to deflect him and try and stab Okko, but the sand just works around it, which crushes Kyrax, quite frankly, and his attack does nothing. Then Okko forms his hand into a sword and says to Kyrax, saying, "You think your sword's strong? Well, get a taste of this one." He then slashes at Kyrax, which grazes him right on his belly, which knocks him backwards, thinking that sand can't hurt. The grains of sand, it comes from glass, so sand can be sharp if used right. And that's what this one was, used right. Kyrax felt the pain, but looking at his wound, he doesn't see any blood come out, because he's liquid metal, doesn't have blood. But Kyrax then tries to use his portal ability against Okko then. He shoots lightning towards Okko, which lands on Okko. Okko seems unfazed by this, and a portal emerges inside of Okko, in which Okko gets sucked into the portal, and Kyrax follows suit, jumping into the portal, where they end up in a rainforest of sorts, like the dark jungle in Avantia. Okko, confused by his surroundings, creates a sandstorm which blusters all the trees, going violently everywhere. But Kyrax seems completely unfazed by this and sprouts wings to get above the sandstorm, trying to look around for what he can use to try and attack this beast. Okko is not letting him do that, reaches up for Kyrax, grabs him with a hand and pulls him into the sandstorm, where he gets violently battered by the sand that's hitting him. But it's not actually damaging him. Okko, out of frustration, goes as tall as he can and launches Kyrax into the distance. As Okko makes his way towards Kyrax in the sandstorm mode, Kyrax gets flown over something which gives him an idea. He creates a portal towards Okko and then shoots one downwards towards underneath where he is. As he regains himself, the portals fully form, and the portal, Okko can feel himself being dragged into another portal, but instead of being dragged into it, what Kyrax threw his second portal at gets dragged into Okko. Okko feels this and realizes that he's having a hard time moving, almost like he feels himself becoming stiff. When Okko looks to see what's happened, he sees that Kyrax has created two portals, one inside of him and another in a river, and the water's draining into him. Okko can see water flooding everywhere where he is, but he can feel himself being stiffened by it. But as long as he stays high, he should be fine. Kyrax, also knowing this, charges up towards Okko, forming a sword in his arm and just slashing as hard as he can at the hard part of Okko, which breaks Okko and brings him down to the level of where the water is. Okko can feel himself getting all stiffened, trying to persevere. And whilst he survived the battering of water, he can feel himself being very stiff and find it very hard to move. Kyrax then conjures up a hammer in his fist and, holding on to his fist with his other hand, brings it down directly on Okko's head, shattering Okko, leaving sand grains, wet and dry, all over the place. Okko then decides that he needs to make sure Kyrax then decides that he needs to make sure that Okko can't come back from this. So he conjures up another portal where Okko is and sucks Okko inside of it. And Okko, seeing that he gets sucked inside of it, the last thing he sees is Kyrax's smug grin, laughing as Okko disappears from sight. And the last thing Okko sees after the portal closes is just nothing but water. So with that, Okko has lost, Kyrax has won. If you think Okko should have won, please comment below what you think about how my worst final and Kyrax moving on to the next round. Being honest, I actually no idea how I was going to do this, but what I settled it on was, yes, Okko technically didn't die, but he would drown eventually. But what I decided is that Kyrax obviously has portals where he can transfer from realms to realms. Doesn't say where he can be. He can transfer into a river or an ocean. So what I did was Kyrax chucked Okko into an Avantian realm, a realm which he's familiar with. End up in the jungle because he chose random mode, And then when he saw a river, he had the idea to harden Okko, making it harder for Okko to move, so Kyrax would apprehend him and then hit him as hard as he can, which he did, and then send him to the Western Ocean, which would obviously drown Okko, but also make him too stiff to even try to get out. So Okko has been apprehended to the point where he's either dead or can't come back. So, and I gave Kyrax this victory because the personality we given him, I believe, was a non-stop fighter. And whilst this doesn't really show the non-stop fighter aspects, if it was angry, I never would have given Kyrax this kind of victory. But as a non-stop fighter, Kyrax should, at that point then, have some thought processes into how he fights. So hence why he drowned Okko. This may be a bit overpowered, but at this point we've got tons of overpowered beasts into the next round. At this point, I think we can get to the point where we start destroying kingdoms. Or using multiple terrains. I plan to use it in a future battle coming up in this round. The changing terrains thing. You'll know which one it is when you see the matchup. Come on. But yeah. Kyrax won, Okko's lost. Series 17 is not out yet. Like, out of the tournament. Because there's still one beast left standing. And he is still in this tournament. And he's moved on to round 4. Justice has been served to Griff. This has not been a 3-4 year running joke to where I finally got my justice for my bird. That just sounds wrong. But, yeah. Griff is the last beast standing on Series 17 and he's already in round 4. After having quite a good battle against Merc, I need to be honest. But with that, that is the 130th battle of the all-generation Battle of the Beasts. We now have 14 beasts confirmed to be in round 4. And 9 of them are specials. I say Series 7 is dominating this tournament, but no, it's the specials. To no one's surprise. If we ignore the specials, then Series 7 is still dominating. But with that being said, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.